Hello friends, family, and other creatures of the sea. Welcome back to another high-level best of 5. Today we have Gumiho versus DPG herO. Two players that like to switch it up. Two players that are a little bit crazy. As you see, Gumiho opening up with a proxy barracks here, which is kind of in between. It's almost in limbo, this barracks. It's not quite close to the opponent's base, but it's also not a fake proxy Rex. It will be capable of flying home a little bit faster than majority of the proxy Rexes, but the Reaper also is going to be a little bit later. So it's really just kind of in the middle. Often in StarCraft 2, if you take the middle of the road option too many times, you just kind of end up not being good anywhere. So your Reaper doesn't arrive quick enough, and also you don't have very quick Marine production at home. Ooh, I like this follow-up though. It's going to be a proxy factory. Seems like he wants to flow this into the main base as well. That does make things a little more interesting, actually. That does make things a little bit more interesting. We see herO kind of opening up with that core before Nexus, making sure that he will be capable of getting out units in time. Pylon gets constructed on the low ground. Sees the lack of a factory in the main, and this should have all the alarm bells ringing right now. This should have... yeah, just code red right now for herO. This Reaper arrives really quick, by the way, still 210. That's kind of a sick timing. I don't think herO was quite expecting that. Opens up with a Stalker. Stalker's going to be a lot later. One probe might end up falling. Gumiho not quite getting that probe kill that he wanted. Oh, there we go, in the end. Reaper is going to fall, however. It's going to try and see if it can scout anything. That's not going to be the case. Hellion drop as a follow-up. Starport also proxied. Now that means that... oh my god, herO seeing everything. He's manually controlling this probe, by the way. This is not a patrol moved probe. Look at this. He's just checking it every 2-3 seconds. Just making sure that the probe is still moving the way he wants it to. Wants to get the maximum amount of information. This was some really good control, and it cost Gumiho a fair amount of money as well. This SCV was chasing the entire time. Second Hellion is going to be built as well. This is most likely going to be a triple Hellion drop. As herO starts looking... to see if he can figure out what's being proxied on the map right now. Now, he will figure it out, but both of the buildings are completed. Could get perhaps a shot on this Hellion, yeah. I'm not sure why the Hellion would want to shoot at the Stalker. I think it should be the other way around. herO's going to wait at home to try and defend. Second gate is on the way. Robotics facility is about to finish up as well. Ooh, Reaper tried to pop in towards the natural. Not quite going to work out. Hellion should start moving towards the starport location as well, if they want to actually drop at a decent time. I'm not quite sure. Hello, Hellions. There we go. Going to be a couple of seconds delay because those Hellions were a little bit slower than perhaps they should have been. I like this move though. herO is aware of the fact where the starport is positioned, so an attack in towards the natural or in towards his dead space is going to be quite unlikely. Now fake dropping in towards the main base, herO pulls all of the Stalkers to that. Look at that fake medevac drop, completely tricking herO, and at the same time the Hellions go in towards the natural. Command center is being built behind this as well. This is going to cost 5-6 workers here for herO. herO does have a lot of units out on the map, and there's not that many units to speak of whatsoever for Gumiho. Just now he's getting his first reactor. Does herO have the guts to move out? Does he have the balls, the cojones, to start moving across the map and try to deal some damage? I don't think that he actually does. Ooh, a tank? Is this a 1-1-1 type follow-up? This starport will live and try to move away from now. Two of these Hellions still being alive is a huge bonus. It actually is so extremely helpful. Tank gets picked up by the medevac. That was a very big pickup, very important one. Worker count is in favor of Gumiho, and that is not a good sign here for herO. Two Hellions will be capable of popping in towards the naturals. The Liberator's trying to get in position to perhaps deal some damage as well. We have a Twilight Council being thrown down. Barracks 2 and 3 on the way. And honestly, after this opener, what can we really say? Well, if this Liberator gets more than 3 kills, I think this will be fantastic for Gumiho. Or, well, if it even gets 2 kills. Oh, this is real nice for Gumiho. This is just fantastic. Hellions popping back in as well. We'll get 1 more kill, 2 more kills. Oh no, more probes are being sacrificed here to the Liberator gods. Tank drop in the main base. Who drops a tank? Well, the answer is Gumiho apparently. Oh my god, this got so many kills. I think that tank got like 7-8 kills, and I don't think herO ever expected that. What a fantastic start for Gumiho with honestly the most creative opener that I've seen in an extremely long time. Freaking 3 Hellion drop into Liberator into a tank drop. This is something we don't see every single day. It's actually something we never see. Marauders are now on the way. There's no blink yet. Dark Shrine instead is being built. All Gumiho needs to do right now is defend. If he can keep this bunker alive, I think he's just winning. He's absolutely just winning if he's keeping this bunker alive. Marauders are being popped out right now. Hello, can we get some repair? Either on the bunker or on this starport. Gumiho believes that he can just hold this without any major repair. Just sends a single SCV over. So calm, so collected. Scan on this observer I think is kind of imminent. Yeah, Gumiho has seen this, right? He's seen that observer for sure. It's rather obvious as well, the location, but... yeah, concussive shell's about to finish up. That means some of these stalkers are going to get slowed. Prism will not be in time with the save as herO tries to start moving in towards the main base. The DTs need to do an insane amount of damage. We're not just talking about 4 or 5 workers. No, we're talking about 10, 12 workers for it to be an even game, maybe. No, actually, more than 12 workers. You're going to need to kill like legit 15 workers for an even game at this point. The supply is so good. There's no third base yet for the Protoss player. Stim, combat shield, no major tech, low gateway count. Everything is terrible here for herO. He's going to warp in 2 DTs. There's 2 scans available. If these mules get dropped instantly, that could be bad for Gumiho. It could be, but it most likely isn't. No, they're not gonna get dropped, at least not for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's a lot of workers. Okay, 7 workers go down in the main. There's a bunker there, so technically this DT could have already been cleaned up. Gumiho not with the quickest response. This response was really poor, honestly. It wasn't pretty. There's no more scans available. This turret is going to finish up in 7 seconds from now. And maybe these DTs will be able to do a little bit more, but perhaps not too much. 5 Rex as a follow-up as well. Actually, that puts a little bit of pressure on Gumiho here, trying to deal some damage. He's forced to deal damage. If you play a 5 Rex as a follow-up rather than a faster 3rd CC, you're absolutely forced to deal some damage. We see most likely, well, at least 1 more scan is going to get forced here, as this DT is being microed so in such a careful way. What happened with the Prism? Did it die? Oh, I missed that, but I think the Prism actually ended up dying somewhere. Must have flown into some Marines. This observer spots this side. We have Colossi on the way, I believe. I saw a Robo Bay. Yeah, there we go. Robo Bay on the way. Triple Immortal as well. So the army for herO is growing. But I'm having a difficult time seeing him hold this. Yeah, even with 12 worker kills, which is what he got. I think he got 12 worker kills with 2 3DTs. The infrastructure, just everything sucks right now. And the 5 Rex as a follow-up. Ooh, that's a good blink. The 5 Rex as a follow-up does force Gumiho to deal damage. It basically says, hey, if you don't deal a lot of damage or you deny a 3rd base, you're just going to be down a base, and that's not good. There are disruptors out. There's more disruptors on the way, and these can change the outcome of a game. But the army here. herO doesn't have great vision either. We have a forward scan. Gumiho sees the complete lack of units in the natural, starts stimming in. Oh, kind of moves around everything. Gets 3 workers for free, starts attacking these pylons as well. Big supply block. Here comes the disruptor shot. Decent control in the end, but it looked scary there for a second. All of these immortals are going to fall. Disruptor dies as well. herO is desperately trying to get back. Why was he in the middle of the map? Probably trying to pick off some of these units. But the units were in his natural, so it was in the wrong spot. Yeah, this is just extremely painful. Losing 4 workers, losing all of your immortals. Without immortals, this army has no backbone. And without a backbone, it is very, very difficult to keep moving forward here for herO. He is getting charged, he is getting +1, still no 3rd base for Gumiho. It's the longer that lasts, the lack of a 3rd base, the harder it's going to get for Gumiho to continue producing from these 5 barracks. I mean, main has already kind of ran out. I guess he can float over the main CC. Nonetheless, it looks kind of scary. One of these disruptors, if it hits, if one of these disruptor hits, then it could be huge. Ooh, ghost drop on top of the army, but forgets the EMP. That was good disruptor shots. Oh my god, there's no army left. There's absolutely nothing left. I think herO might be capable of doing it now. He does have the +1, charge is about to finish up. There's a 3rd disruptor. Both of these shots hitting in a very big way, and the only thing that Gumiho had to prevent was getting hit by both shots. And oh, he tanked them straight in the face. It is still possible that he kills him though. There are a lot of Marauders. There's a lot of personal healing going on here. Look at that. 5, 6, 7 medevacs. But these disruptor shots once again are going to connect. And I actually believe that herO might have done it right now. Blink forward. Oh, 4 more Stalkers. G gets called and herO wins a game, which he had absolutely no business in winning whatsoever. What was this? Wait, yeah, this is what I wanted. 25 workers killed out of Gumiho. Insanely good early game. But herO says, no, I have 3 gateways. I have disruptors. I have a bunch of Stalkers. I will be capable of doing it. And so it happened. 1-0 right now in this best of 5 for herO, as we'll be heading into game number 2. This game number 2 will be played here on Pride of Altaris, on which herO decides to open up with a double gas opener. And we see Gumiho also deciding to open up with a double gas opener. So both players cutting a little bit of economy for quicker tech. And herO, of course, can follow this up with a gold base. For Gumiho, that sadly is not going to be possible. Terran just can't defend a base on the gold as the natural. It is impossible. You require bunkers in too many positions. One over here, one over here. Your units can get kited by Stalkers the entire time. Blink Stalkers, Oracles, DTs, everything would be hell to play against. Well, for Protoss, as long as you keep some kind of map control in the mid game or in the early parts of the mid game, it should be okay because it will pay off before you give up map control. So Protoss gives up map control at the 5:45, 6 minute mark, and at that point this gold has already achieved so much, it helped so much boost that economy that kind of offsets the positional disadvantage that you will be working with. Because let's be real, this is not a nice position to have your natural base. That's a fact. It's not really debatable. herO sees the reactor done already, and he will be surprised, confused, and everything at the same time. If the first 2 Marines don't pop at 2:23, that means that it is Reapers as the first 2 units. So herO should be aware of what's coming. Might actually decide to even give up his worker for, just to get a confirmation on this info. I don't really mind that. He could have told by no Marines popping out, but I don't really mind this either. I think it's a good call. Battery in the gold is an option here, I think. Yeah, it's indeed what he will play as Gumiho immediately scouts the gold. Let's not forget that this was his first scout. And started going to town on this battery. Might even be capable of taking it out. There are 2 Reapers. There's a Hellion on the way. The follow-up is going to be 2 more Reapers. So there will be 4 Reapers, 2 Hellions. Those units will be able to make short work of 2 Adepts. As long as these Hellions right now and these Reapers don't really take any major damage. Of course, there's an Oracle on the way. And that will definitely be the saving grace here for herO. Ooh, this is painful. This actually could end up going very, very poorly. If Gumiho micros this well, he won't even lose a unit. Yeah. Not a unit lost, and killing 2 Adepts here at the start. That is absolutely huge. This Oracle needs to deal so much damage. It needs to do so much. And I think if Gumiho splits his units properly, that is just not going to be possible. I like this split. He kind of baits this Oracle away as the Reapers continue dealing damage. And 2 workers fall, some delayed mining on this base. Now this Hellion will come back. Reapers start jumping in towards the main base. There is an Adept out, but yeah, these Reapers, both of them stay alive. Is there more units on the way? Yes, there's a reactor pumping out Marines, a medevac tank. This follow-up is looking great as well, and I think herO is in a crap ton of trouble here. He has on a single gateway. He does have 2 Oracles with a 3rd Oracle on the way. If this gets followed up by a Cyclone and a Viking, which it will, this is the dream scenario here, and we know what Gumiho can do with a single tank and some harassment medevacs. We'll see what he can do with 4 Marines and a tank, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's even a little bit more. There's no map control, no map vision whatsoever here for herO. He does secure the middle, sees these units on the far right side. A single Oracle is just not going to be enough against 4 Marines with a medevac and with the tank as well. So more workers are going to die. I already believe that Gumiho is in a good economical position as long as he doesn't take any major damage at home, which, by the way, he shouldn't because he has plenty of units. I think he's actually kind of far ahead. Tank decides to siege up. I don't think that was quite the correct call, as the tank will just get targeted down by the Oracles. And all Oracles did activate their Pulsar Beam, so they will run out of energy. This base now largely undefended, and well, Gumiho decides to actually march out with everything. Did these Adepts all die? I missed that. Every single Adept died. So that is what, 6 Adepts down total. I'm not even sure if Gumiho actually lost something. Maybe he lost a single Marine. I guess that's about it then, huh? That's not a good trade. That really is not a good trade there for herO. herO already down in supply now, will start getting glaives. Has a 4th Oracle out, loses one of them. That means he only has 3 Oracles left right now. Triple Stalker Warp in, 3rd battery here on the gold base. And this was kind of a fake push out of Gumiho. He says, hey, I can just get a lot of extra barracks. I don't think your infrastructure is that brilliant. And he's right about that. There's no natural base, or well, there's no 3rd base on the natural yet. Is he going to take the gold? I think he's going to double gold expand here. At least he wanted to. Now that this probe dies, I guess life is going to change a little bit for him. Just on 1 gateway. Just on 2 more gateways. Okay, it's going to be a 2-base all-in. Phoenix is on the way as well. But once this medevac scouts the fact that there is no natural, or no base on the natural, that's going to be a huge scout. That will allow Gumiho to be way more conservative with his mid-game movement. Because he doesn't need to kill his opponent. He just needs to stay alive. 2-base versus 2-base is a dream scenario for Terran. That is what they live for. I actually do believe that... There is no stim yet. I don't think this is a push that I'm super fond of, or that I think is actually that brilliant of a plan. The infrastructure is already being created here for herO. So Gumiho is truly forcing nothing with this. And it is a possibility that herO decides to engage her and actually get a pretty decent fight. Get the lift on the tank. Oh, well, we're seeing all the wrong things here. As this fight's actually going to be a pretty clean pickup here for herO. That's not exactly what Gumiho was hoping for. Yeah, this push out, I think it's incorrect. I think it was an incorrect push out. I like the initial fake, but at this point, there really is not that much of a point anymore. Like there's nothing that could really be achieved. Did force out a bunch of stalkers perhaps, but herO now almost back in the game. He's still behind. His infrastructure is good. His +1 is about to finish. There's 5 depots at the same time on the way, and he's already not supply block anymore. Oh, Gumiho is afraid of an attack. Gumiho thought he was about to be all-in, and this will cut massively into his unit production, because usually you can't just afford 5, 6 depots at the same time. 83 supply out of, what is this, 142? Ah yeah, it is unbelievable. Adepts are going to finish up. It's a debatable call here, but nonetheless, herO, he's alive, and he's alive and kicking, truly. Glaive Adept, of course, not the greatest unit, and it's difficult to transition out of it often. Still a single Oracle around as well, which will help trying to tag these armies, trying to figure out what his opponent is doing. And the transition into the Templar Archives also is an interesting one, because right now, every single unit in herO's army is getting hard countered by the Ghost, right? Any gateway unit, honestly, sucks massively against Ghost. We saw that last game that he really needed the Disruptors there to try and achieve anything, and Templar and a Prism are good, but against the Ghost count, that is more than 1. I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's going to be rough. I like the double drop movement here. Of course, with this positional disadvantage that herO has been working with for the entire game, he could be in a bit of trouble if two drops kind of split his army up, and yeah, it would not be super easy to deal with. It's a surprising amount of units here. There's no real catch though. There's no blink. There's no phoenixes either. So these drops are going to be extremely overpowered, at least in this game. At the same time, we have this move out. That's what, 4 tanks. This is a small army. This is not a huge army. And there's Ghost, which is going to help. We have the enhanced shockwave on the way as well. Here comes the Storm. Well, here doesn't come the Storm, because Storm isn't quite done yet. If these tanks siege up and get a couple of decent splash shots up, that would be huge. They actually do. Super battery is being activated right now. Big EMPs are hitting as well, though. I'm not quite sure if the marine damage output is good enough. It does barely not seem to be the case. These marines are trading well with this adept. The 3rd base has finished up as well for Gumiho, and Gumiho is, well, about equal in supply, and hence shockwave finish up. I don't think herO can push out, but I do believe this was a minor win once again for herO. He does need to start doing something right now, because this gold base is about to run out. He's going to need a 4th base, and he's going to need it quick as well, because these patches are practically all gone, and the mining is actually going to be favorable pretty darn soon here for Gumiho. Gumiho still is on a low worker count, but once he gets that worker count rolling, once he gets that saturation with the mules on the third base, he's going to pump up the 2,500 minerals per minute. And I think that herO should be dropping below this once these patches start running out. And even these other patches, I mean, it's like 600 minerals, 600 here, so yeah, it's about 2.4k still left in the bank. That's going to be empty pretty quick. I can guarantee you that. This wasn't the brilliant trade that herO was hoping for either. Double Liberator being created right now. 1-1 upgrades, 5 Marines on the way. Also sure about Liberators, but this fight I am very sure about, and Gumiho is very sure about as well. I'm not quite sure what herO is doing here, but he's going to lose every single adept. A little bit of trouble. A little bit of trouble there. We have a recall. Is this base actually in... Wait, is this all that herO has currently? What happened with his army? Did he just lose everything? This was the weird little trade, weird game, and I think Gumiho actually might be winning this. I mean, Gumiho has way more stuff. There's a couple of reinforcements stimming across the map as well. These ghosts dealing a fair amount of damage. The super battery did help those adepts, but with Liberators, I mean, there's nothing that can shoot up really. Still no Blink Stalkers. Adept Shade does end up finishing, but the tank continuing to shell away at these adepts. GG gets called, and Gumiho wins game number 2, actually tying up the series as we'll head into game number 3. And as we load up on Hardwire into game number 3 of this best of 5, we see a low ground gateway coming out of herO. And a neatly timed low ground gateway as well. herO is one of the players that actually... This is a very small detail, and it doesn't change too much. But herO... Wait, what's he doing with this probe? Wait, what actually is he doing? Oh, he's just scouting for proxy. Okay, well, scouting for proxy racks. This will be an eBay block, by the way, but we'll talk more about that later. herO is one of the few players that gets the chrono after he gets the gas. And that allows him to get a slightly faster gas, and it barely cuts into his minerals. So it's just a cute little move there, a little different, and I actually kind of like it. This is a move that many people have said that is theoretically better than what most Protoss players do, but yet most Protoss players don't really... do it, and herO is one of these people that really cares about his early game, about these first, like the minimal differences. That's what he works with. His worker harass is also one of the best. Like whenever you talk with Zerg players, look at this, it's so cute, this movement. Doesn't want to lose any DPS on this eBay, but still wants to make sure that the SCV never returns to deal any damage. This was an eBay block that was dealt with very rapidly. Such solid fashion. Does not have to build a Zealot. That is obviously the inferior call here. As we see herO taking a second gas as well. And I think that second gas was just slightly after the Nexus. Yeah, well, actually practically the same time. Just slightly after the Nexus. Second, oh, it's the Reaper Marauder build. Wow. Okay. Now this is kind of interesting. And the reason this is kind of interesting is because we've been seeing this build being played a lot. And the win rate of this build order is terrible. I honestly never see this win. Or hardly ever see this win. And if it does win, I've never seen these two Marauders do anything whatsoever. So I'm not entirely sure what the point is of these Marauders. Concussive isn't quite done yet. So... you can even lose your first SCV. It doesn't really help against the initial Adept harass. If you play Marine into Marauder, Concussive and the Marauder would be done a little bit quicker. And against the first Adept, if they finish their Shade, you can actually kill the Adept. But in this case, I actually do not understand the point of this build at all. I'm also not entirely sure about the 3-gate follow-up here. That seems odd, to say the least. It's a very rare opener that I also am not quite sure what the point is playing a 3-gate right now. The gateways are not even going to be finishing in time for the warp gate. The follow-up will be Blink, so Blink is going to be delayed. Now, 2 of these Marauders will make their way across the map, but 3 Adepts, 1 Stalker is going to be plenty of units to deal with this. Once again, we see the absolute brilliance here of these 2 Marauders. They will get 1 Stalker, they'll get 1 Probe as well, and that's it. And then both of them die. Yeah, I just don't understand. I just don't quite know what it is. I've never seen this build do anything. Gumiho, in my opinion, right now is behind. He lost all map control. His initial mine drop is going to be a little bit delayed compared to what it usually could be. I'm just not seeing any advantages, and I see a lot of disadvantages. Losing 2 Marauders, having delayed Widow Mines, not having any defense either. Again, in case of like a proxy Oracle. Like there's... Oh my good lord, herO, no. You just walk straight into a couple of mines. It's still going to clear these Marines there. I think Gumiho is just in a lot of trouble. You just have no units whatsoever with this opener. We see 3 more Adepts as a follow-up as well. So I guess this is why he went for the Adepts. He says, hey, I know that you can't have a lot of Marines behind this because you have a tech lab on one of the barracks. This actually is brilliant as a response to this. I did not understand it, but now I do. Oh, I love it. If he hadn't lost 2 Adepts to the mines for free, I actually believe that herO would be in an almost unlosable situation right now. Losing these Adepts was extremely bad. And he still managed to do a little bit of damage. He will follow this up with a charge lot all in. As this is only 2 barracks, the production is minimal here for Gumiho. This is such a great counterplay out of herO. I absolutely love this. And I love it even more that I did not understand it and thought it would be bad. But this is great. This is a great counter, completely understanding the lack of production from the Terran side and saying, hey, you're not going to have any units whatsoever. What happens if I just shade by with 5, 6, 7 Adepts, send a couple of Stalkers across the map, constant pressure here on the Terran player, and now the Zealots are in the main base. The unit count is tiny. This is such a small unit count. At the same time, though, 10 workers did go down. I missed that. herO also missed that. It does have pretty decent production, though, as the Zealots are in the main base. I would love these Stalkers to enter the main base as well. Not quite sure where this Prism is heading right now. We're gonna need some reinforcements at some point, honestly. Ooh, good Zealot control. We'll manage to connect with a lot of these Marine Stim. Once again, needs to be activated. There's no combat shield yet. Will these Zealots find the Marines? No, they do not. 5 more Zealots are being built right now. The bunker on the low ground actually is gone. Not sure if it died or if it accidentally got salvaged. Good control on the probes at home this time as herO, although he lost 12 workers, still has some momentum behind him, starts marching in with the Zealots. The wall is down. These Marines are low HP and this tank is in a bit of trouble. Split on the... Yes, split on the Stalkers, of course. herO is not an idiot. Immortal also makes its way across the map as the Prism is being chased by a Viking and a Stalker with 2 HP tries to fight the Viking. Oh, the warp in a very risky one. Gumiho waiting exactly for this moment. SCV's chasing a Stalker, which was chasing a Viking, which was chasing the Prism. In the end, the Viking and the Stalker managed to get out alive, but the Prism does not. 10 workers do go down, though, and it's 25 workers against 29. Did the mine drop end up getting cleared? No, it actually went back home. There is still an observer here. There's a new Prism on the way, a Dark Shrine as a follow-up as well. So herO truly pulling out all stops right now, still on 2 base, will continue moving forward with this. He's going to continue pressing on. And as there is no combat shield yet, this still has a chance. Does it have a good chance? Yeah, actually, why not, right? It definitely has some potential. The Viking is an issue, though, because it means there's only going to be a single warp incapable before the Viking gets to connect with that Prism, and the Prism just practically needs to piss off at that point. herO could also opt to go for a 3rd base and try to deal a lot of damage with the DTs, but that does mean that he needs to at some point deal with a Marine combat shield type of push. +1's already done as well for the Terran, and I'm not entirely sure who is ahead. I think it's a kind of an asymmetrical game. It's a game in which both players have their advantages. This DT warp is really bad right now because it's going to reveal the DTs. herO's even going to lose one of the DTs, and he loses the Prism. So all of the threats towards the main and towards the natural are pretty much gone. Turret is going to finish up. A single SCV will go down, and that is about it. Turret in the main base doesn't even need to be constructed. Gumiho is going to be very pleased with himself finding that Warp Prism, and I'm very pleased with Gumiho as well in this position. +1 armor on the way. We have Storm being researched, as well as another. Is this the 3rd Prism right now? That is indeed the 3rd Prism in a 9-minute game. Stalkers are in position and will be capable of stopping this medevac from entering the main. Might actually end up picking up the Templar to feed back this medevac. That would be a very hero-like move. There's no blink yet, right? No blink, which means once again, catching any type of medevacs is going to be close to impossible. But the units will be able to be caught by these zealots, by this sentry, and by these stalkers as well. Sentry is going to try to be targeted down by Gumiho, but Gumiho will not quite succeed. Storm finishing up. A couple of good storms, anything is possible. Third base also on the way already. The eco is just not looking too tight. Here comes the storm, here comes the storm. One storm hits pretty big. Second storm hits pretty big. Archon is being morphed in. Tank will get taken out once again. herO taking a fight that I don't think a lot of other Protoss players would have taken this as well as herO is doing right now. He's just absolutely blasting through Gumiho in this game. Armory is already starting, and that's going to be kind of necessary, I guess. Mines will be very useful. Oh, this is not a good drop. This is a really bad drop right now. There's an army knocking at your front door. You need every single unit that you can at home, because this is what's going to matter. herO, although he's up in bases, is still somewhat down in eco as he doesn't have as many workers. Wants to go in. Widow Mines, not quite invisible. Armory not done. There's also an observer close by. I think that herO is actually doing this with another Zealot warp in. The Marauder flank not quite achieving what Gumiho wanted to achieve with it. 1-1 upgrades are done, but herO says, I have Storm, and Storm doesn't give a crap about your good upgrades. Double mine is going to hit, and herO wins game number 3 in an absolutely miraculous comeback once again. His unit control in these low eco fights with these high splash units is fantastic, and takes game number 3, puts himself on match point, and we'll have to wait and see if Gumiho can come back after such a pain and tough loss. Alrighty, game number 4, as we see a quick SCV making its way across the map here for Gumiho. Oh, this is a nasty position. That's a very nasty position. Looks like herO also has some nasty ideas though. As this probe is not heading to a location to scout something. Now this probe is heading over to proxy a pylon, I guess? That's what it feels like. No, it's actually just scouting for a Rex that would stay at home, I guess. That makes sense. I mean, Gumiho's a player that loves to play 2 gas openers, loves to proxy Rex. So herO's just making sure that he knows where that first barracks is. Right now he will be alerted to the absence of a barracks in the main base. He's immediately going to check this part, right? This is where you'll scout. This is absolutely where you'll scout. And this will tell herO, okay, the barracks is not close by his own base, which means I'll most likely need to deal with a proxy reaper. The question for me right now is, will this be a Zealot? Yeah. Okay, this is what I thought that herO would do. Zealot as a response. There's not a lot of people that still like this as a response. Most players much prefer playing a quick Nexus. A Nexus before the Zealot. But, oh my god, herO actually is going to find this. This was a great scouting pattern, by the way. I really did like that. Kind of missed this area, but it is what it is. It really is what it is. No, I truly did like this. I'll have to wait and see what this Zealot is going to achieve. And the main thing it can always achieve, it will deny the low ground bunker, basically. However, it also cuts some workers and it delays your second gas. So, all things considered, it is something that you would want to skip as a Protoss player. Especially if you end up losing some workers. If you open up with a Zealot and you lose 3 workers, oh my friends, life really sucks. Like, it's not a good time. Oh, he misclicked! Could have gotten one probe there for sure. But will not get it. Is this bunker actually gonna go up? No, it should never get up here. I think this Reaper should not have dived, and it needs to go out, yeah. Managed to jump out, just barely, but barely also is good enough, as long as you survive. Zealot's going to get taken out, good control with his Reapers, could kite this adept for a little bit if he truly controls this well. Decent enough, but gets double hit here. Yeah, actually this wasn't that great of control. Not a huge fan. I think with 2 Reapers against a single adept, you can actually achieve a lot, and Gumiho just didn't achieve a lot with it. It's going to hide in a very tricky corner. If you get caught here, you're in trouble. But herO decided to go home just a little bit quicker. 25 workers against 25. And triple gate, once again the follow-up. And I think for a similar reason here as last time, once again the Marine count is going to be very low, just like with that Marauder build in the last game, right? You get that tech lab, you don't have a reactor. That's the same if you open up with 2 Reapers and your barracks proxied, you're just not going to have a lot of Marines at home. And if the Terran opens up with a mine drop or opens up with a cyclone, pushing across the map with 3, 4 adepts, 4 stalkers, that's just a fantastic start. Like, you can deal some real damage there in that case. However, with a tank, oh, a tank is good. That's an actual unit that deals a lot of damage. You can siege up, you can shoot from long range. herO does need to be careful that he doesn't lose a crap ton of workers at home. He's going to lose 6, 7, perhaps even 8. No, just seems to be 7. 7 workers here. And if you're Gumiho and you see your opponent lose 7 workers, you'll be like, all right, how many workers do you really have? I think I'm up in workers. I don't need to do anything. He's getting his triple Rex already. He's continuing worker production. eBay should be on the way soon. There we go. eBay, a single Banshee without cloak is somewhat interesting. With cloak, probably wouldn't have mattered too much as there is a robo already. Oh, herO's actually going to all in from here, or at least maybe charge. He's pulling out of gas. So he wants slightly more minerals than what would be considered normal. Not the greatest target fire with that tank, by the way. And also not the greatest micro with that tank. I'm not sure if that Banshee got spotted or if it didn't. More stalkers being warped into the home. There's no prism here yet. This tank actually can't reach. God, this is such a loser tank. Not capable of doing anything. His mate already died as well. Still 33 workers against 35 is of course favorable for the Korean Terran player. His income is currently a little bit lower because herO is mining from the natural already. He's mining a pretty decent amount as well from that natural. Depot is about to finish up. What do we have here? This is a Banshee. If this Banshee just gets like 3-4 kills, that would already be huge. And the Banshee also will force a warp in at home. There is no blink, which will make it difficult to catch it. Like, there's just a lot of issues with this Banshee. I'll hope that herO has a unit ready. Banshee, get controlled. Oh no, starts attacking the pylon a couple of times. That could have been an extra probe that should have died here. 3-4 workers is already enough. You really don't need much more in this situation. He's going to get 1 more at least. Maybe even 2 more. Well, not 2 more. I guess that was a little bit over-eager. Ooh. No. Not quite gonna get that. Battery finishes at both bases. Still have this constant base denial going on though. Cyclone should be capable of taking out this observer. I mean, it's fairly obvious as to where that observer is. Yeah, I think he should definitely take that out in that case. Yep, this is a good takeout. Because in this case now the topside tank can either stay here and cover this tank moving down, or it can also start moving down by itself in a little bit. It just gives you a little bit more options. I like that herO is using these adepts for vision, making sure that the tank does not move down yet. It's a cool little move. Charge is actually finishing up here, and a couple of charge lots in a prism could cause some trouble here. Stim is about to finish up. Still believe that Gumiho is in a fine position though. Medevac is here as well. Tanks now start unsieging. herO starts moving in though. +1 is about to finish up. Quick stim. SCV's being pulled off the line. Prism heads towards the main base. There's no +1 on these adepts. And all of the zealots at the front just straight up die. We have another big warp in here. But I think all of these units are just straight up going to die against this ball of Marines. I mean, +1 Marines against zealots without any armor upgrades. That is asking for trouble. This Banshee is putting up some serious work when it comes to this gateway. I don't think that Gumiho was aware of that, but now he'll see, oh, well, I actually did a fair amount of damage. Maybe if I come back in the future, that would be useful. I do believe that herO is still in trouble, though. Sure, he killed 9 workers. Sure, he took out a bunch of Marines, but his army supply is a lot lower. He has no upgrades whatsoever. He has no way of splashing this army, and there's no Guardian Shield. Quick stim. Gumiho's not kiting back. We'll pick up these tanks perhaps. Not really microing those tanks back either. That was sexy pickup micro. Wow, that was really cool actually. As these Marines continue moving in, Banshee is going to join the fray as well as these tanks settle for this position. This is a nasty position with some good target fire on the stalkers. Might be capable of actually having a decent fight as well. No, all of these Marines are going to get absolutely destroyed, and Gumiho for now will actually be forced back home. Quick pickup on the Marines as well as this observer gets taken out. And once again, we have herO on 2 bases, researching Storm of 2 gas, while he continues attacking. And he's up 14 supply. Is it necessary to attack right now if your name is herO? The answer is no. Can he attack and win the game? The answer is, well, perhaps actually. Yeah, why not? Once again, opting for a split attack does mean that these Zealots will kind of walk into a choke. Not actually get that much done. So a single tank goes down, but 12, 13 Zealots straight up die. 4 or 5 workers will fall. I don't think this was a good fight for herO. I really don't think it was. I also don't think it was super necessary. If you have Storm on the way against a pure Marine army, you don't need to hurry. You can sit back, you can relax. There's once again no blink, which means that these medevac drops could potentially cause some major harm. 4 Zealots in the Prism. Templars should take their place soon. Maybe a Stalker Warpin in the main would be capable of helping out herO here. So Gumiho now taking his 3rd gas 9 minutes into the game. They have been very, very weird games. All over the place. This drop is going to head in towards the main. This drop will head towards the 3rd. Gumiho will be very pleased to see the lack of workers and the lack of this base actually being done. Waits until he sees the army arrive at the 3rd to go in with the main. Oh, herO's going to lose a Templar for free. That's 150 gas he won't get back. And if you only have 2 gases, it's actually kind of a big deal. There's only a single Templar left over right now. Super Battery will not actually be capable of healing any units as there are no units here. Zealots will get taken out. Now herO starts microing. Oh, not the Prism, not the Prism. Prism gets taken out. There's still 1 Templar, but without a Prism, attacking with this army is going to be, well, impossible. And even defending. Templar are so much better when they are in a Prism that I feel scared. I feel scared right now for herO, and this almost should have been a clean win after that initial charge load attack, I think. After he pushed back this push, it should have been way easier. He's going to lose a couple of Zealots here for free. Still doesn't have any upgrades, only working with these Storms as the main way to deal with high Marine counts, because pure Zealot just doesn't cut it usually. Triple tank will siege up. Here comes the single Storm. Single Storm needs to hit, and it needs to hit extremely big as well. This is not a Storm that can hit 4 Marines and be happy. No, this Storm needs to hit 12, 13, 14 Marines, and it needs to kill them, because there's just not enough herO. Otherwise, here comes the Prism. Here comes the Prism. Good target fire on the Prism. Oh, a couple of these Marines will fall, but I think Gumiho still has too many units with the combat shields, with the tanks in the back, and with the medevac heal. And of course the superior upgrades. I think Gumiho is making it work. He will change his angle right now. Actually go for a big pickup in towards the main base. herO completely blind, will have no clue what's going on. As Gumiho is... he's on 41 workers. Could actually take a 3rd base with his main at some point. 2 tanks and 5 bio units head towards the main base. There's no super battery available. And a big warp in at the 3rd base just now. That means that a recall needs to be used. But a couple of these units might be taken out. No, quick pickup. And now Gumiho says, okay, I can just push straight in towards your 3rd base. There's almost nothing left here. Super battery will be active in a couple of seconds from now. Are there any Templar? There are 2 Templar kind of trailing behind this army. Gumiho is up 25 supply. He's up 2 upgrades. He has tanks in this army. 3 tanks, 4 medevacs. Oh, yo. I think herO is in a world of trouble right now. These Templars need to get some magical storms. They could get 1. They could... second storm, not it. First storm was definitely good though, and had some potential if there was a follow-up storm to kill 10, 12 Marines here. But that didn't quite end up being the case. Now you're fighting a 4-tank army with superiorly... Marines that have superior upgrades. The target fire of the tanks is good on these Archons. The control of these Marines is fantastic as well, as the Zealots will go down. I don't think there's any hope left here for herO. He just doesn't have the eco, he doesn't have the tech, he does not have the upgrades, and he is just so dead. Triple tank sieges up here. I've seen herO make a lot of comebacks already this series, but this game ain't going to be one of those comebacks, and he will just need to leave as Gumiho forces the ace match here. The 5th game in the best of 5. The final attack here for herO, but Gumiho just has too many units. The Archon will not be capable of breaking this by itself. GG gets called, and Gumiho wins game number 4 will be heading into a final game between these two fantastically aggressive players. Don't think we've seen a single true macro game yet. They're making it not even those short games, but just very aggressive, low eco games. Very fun to watch. Different strategies all the time as well. And I'm looking forward to see what the final game has to offer. Game number 5 between Gumiho and herO. As herO sent out one of the fastest probe scouts that I've seen in my entire life. And actually is denying his opponent's barracks positioning. Gumiho is like, I can't be bothered to deal with this crap. Just build it over here in my main base. Gas first, by the way, so gas going down before that barracks could lead into some funky shenanigans. What? Hello? What is this? Second gateway? Second pylon? Who's almost completely out of gas. Realizes his opponent isn't scouting. Can we get a core, please? There we go. A little late on the core, actually. It's gotta be a zealot, isn't it? He knows that Gumiho doesn't scout with gas first. And this barracks being out of position. Oh my god, is he gonna get this SCV? You need to repair it! You need to repair it! Oh well, 1 for 1. Still not a great trade, but it is what it is. High ground CC in the wall. Zealot's going to make a second zealot. Is this a second zealot? No, this is first zealot. I thought this was a zealot moving out. Then I saw the movement speed on the minimap. I was like, yeah, that's a bit much perhaps. What is this build order? It's going to be double stalker? Adapt. Do we have double chrono boost for this? Yeah, we do. Double chrono boost. Nexus on the gold. Good lord, this is a build order. I think Gumiho is just straight up going to move towards the gold to see the timing on it. To see if there is a gold. He's going to miss the zealot because of that. The factory is quick though, so I don't actually think this is necessarily that great for a herO, especially if he doesn't kill this Reaper. Reaper sees 2 adepts, like, wait, what's this? Is this a PvP? And no, this is indeed a PvP. Well, 1 worker is going to die for sure. There's no battery in the main base. Next 2 adepts are also moving in. This bunker is actually kind of slow. The response here out of Gumiho with that bunker was a little bit delayed. It will still finish, but 1 or 2 workers might end up falling. This SCV in the command center will most likely fall. Yep, it will. No! It got saved! Look at that! Bunker needs to finish up. Hello, Mr. Bunker. Can we get a finish? There we go. As the Marines pop in there. Yeah, I would not do that with this SCV. I could have seen that coming as well. I like this SCV a lot more. And this depot can't fall. It's kind of important because the next 2 adepts are also on the way. He lowers it? Is he mad? No, he's brilliant. Catches this adept. Catches the second adept as well. Oi, 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 oi. herO, are you in a little bit of trouble here? Did you overstay your welcome? I am not so sure who is overstaying what welcome and what house we're even in currently. 3 adepts out. Robo on the way. 3rd gate on the way. 2nd gas is done. Nexus is about to finish up as well. There's going to be a lot of herO. There is just going to be a lot of herO. The Nexus is very quick, but so is the CC. The worker count is extremely even. There is no way that you're breaking a Cyclone with 3 adepts. It is simply impossible. You can chase this. You can 100% chase this. This is chaseable. There we go. Catches 1 adept. He's going to lose both of these adepts. He will kill 2 SCVs for this. Needs to recall this. But if he recalls, he can't recall the workers. He already recalled the workers, didn't he? Yep. Both of these adepts should fall, and both of them will. 5 adepts down the drain, 5 SCVs, 1 Reaper, 2 Marines. Worker count, not even that far in herO's advantage. There are 3 gates done, there's a prism on the way. I'm not sure. It's impossible for me to understand these situations because I never seen build orders like this play out. It seems like a bad plan to move out right now because there are just a lot of stalkers. Cyclone will help out, but I think this high ground needs to be occupied for a little bit by these Terran units. And with the tank, I still would not be moving down. I would just siege it on top. Yeah, I think this is what Gumiho wants to do. No, he's actually going to try to move down. This 1 stalker will fall for free. Was this a hallucination? Yeah. Okay, so hallucination was sent out. I know you can't move forward here. This is an ill-advised push. I don't think this is possible. I simply do not believe this to be a viable push out with the Warp Prism micro. herO's not going to lose anything. Cyclone is practically useless once the Warp Prism is out. Yeah, this looks good. This looks really good. Good pickups once again. Can he get that medevac? No, but can he get the Cyclone? I would not have the balls to pick up this Cyclone. But Gumiho does have the cojones to do it. There is a tank at home, 33 against 36 workers. Still a fine situation for Gumiho if he doesn't just straight up die, which actually is becoming kind of likely right now. There's only a single tank, 2 Marines, 3 Marines. SCV's being pulled. This tank is low HP. That Cyclone is low HP. The medevac gets targeted down. This tank is dead. Is that it? Where's the Liberator's going? He's going away. He should be home defending. GG! What a way to end game number 5. I cannot believe this build order out of herO. The audacity to play a Zealot 4 Adept opener, achieve absolutely nothing, follow it up with 3-gate Prism, and just straight up kill your opponent. This guy's a true genius, a Protoss mastermind, the biggest brain in the world. It looked so bad. It really did look so bad. Yes, he killed some SCVs, but he kept losing unit after unit after unit. And because herO built so much crap, it felt like Gumiho just never really got the Marine count that he wanted to. He's just not producing Marines for a long time. Look at that. There was a couple of pauses in that Marine production here. I think he did it before as well. And once again, look at that. He just stops Marine production. He misses like almost 2 entire waves of Marines. 4 Marines in this type of situation is huge, by the way. Like, Marines, they skill so well in this type of push, especially once a medevac is out. I hadn't quite noticed that, but that is a huge deal. Just kind of poor macro there. Also getting supply blocked here with that depot. Sloppy play out of Gumiho, and I guess that cost him the series. Well, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this best of 5 between these fantastic players. Very aggressive, fun games. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time for a new video. Bye-bye.